So in this video, I'll be talking about it is your time. So sorry for my tanned appearance. I've been loving the sun a little bit too much lately, but I love me, so it is your time. So are you someone like me who has been through sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, toxic family members? For me, I had a mother who was treating me like nothing or no one from in my childhood. Like, she gave me everything that money could buy, but when it came to emotions, she was very detached. And over time, it didn't matter what I did, nothing I did ever made any sense. Like, I poured and poured, I gave, I loved, but nothing I would give to this lady meant anything to her. Her other daughter, who doesn't give as much, who doesn't care about her as much, is the one she cares about and treasures the most. And I'm happy for them. It doesn't matter to me. But this video I'm sharing with you, it is your time. Society conditions us to believe that we should be selfless. Because for me, as an empathic person, if I see someone needing help, even if I'm at the point of burnout, I will still try to help them and risk even being further drained. And then it doesn't matter how much you give to a person, how much love, how much understanding, how much kindness, how much support you give to this person, especially like my ex. He would turn around and ask me, what have you done for me? And I'm thinking, like, all the time that I supported you, sometime I followed you to work when you were stuck, system shut down, and you couldn't get your organization, functioning as quickly. People were offline who work at home remotely. And even though I do web design and you do IT, I follow you to work to help you. And you're asking me, what have I ever done for you? It's not about adding up the things, but they want you to give. And no matter how much you give, they will never appreciate you. And don't ever wait for that appreciation, because it's never going to come. And even if you do get it, it's very temporary, because they see that you may be slipping away. They see that you may be losing interest. And the people who are in our particular sphere are mainly manipulators and users. Manipulators and users who know that when we become disinterested, they're losing one of their battling ramp or battering ramp, whatever people call that. But they like to keep you as punching bags. I got to the point that I had some money and everyone was just overcharging me. Even after my vehicle accident and I went to physio, all the physiotherapists people, once they heard that I was in an accident, the prices have increased. And I was just so tired and fed up of them all. I had to take my own care in my own hands. And when they asked me questions about my accident, I just told them, listen, I'm here for this. Can you help me with that? Right? And kept it just to the point. My own friend, who I've known for over 10 years, came to my home to do some work. And I explained the same thing to him. I felt so tired. I know that I'm not with my ex anymore. And when my ex was around, he would do some of these handyman jobs around the house. But because I know I'm not giving him the opportunity to make any excuse and come back in my life, I pay for help to do these things. And so people try to rob me of my money here and there, hiking the prices, or they give you one quote and then by the time they show up and the price skyrocket to something else. And then you explain to this person, listen, you're my friend, you're my brother, this and that, right? So people are trying to rob me. And he's like, but that's how the game is played. I'm like, yes, but it's not right. And he's like, I know. And you think that they too are not going to turn around and do the same thing to you? Big mistake. Think again. So I got so angry at one point, so angry to the point where when I realized that I fully ended the relationship with the narcissist. I was done. I wanted no more. I remember the day like it was today where I said to him, listen, enough. I'm done. No more. I said it in the calmest voice that I was just so calm. I was not angry. I was just like, I'm done. No more. You didn't get to this place on your own. But you've crossed the line. I'm done. So from that day forward, I meant I was done, but he thought I was joking because as a narcissist, they know that they can hoover you back, and has it successfully worked for him for almost 10 years. He figures, oh, no big deal. I'll catch you around the corner. And now, next week, it will be 1 year. But it is your time, because how you're going to flip the script and all these people who attacked and abuse you is recognizing it is your time, right? I got so angry when I came home after being fired from my job, ending the relationship with the narcissist about maybe a month or so before that, ending the narcissistic relationship with my mother about maybe 2 years before that. I was already putting things in place to exit that life, that relationship, those relationships without even being fully aware of it. I just knew that I was done. I knew I did not want to live that way anymore. I know my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul was tired of it. I just wanted peace. I just wanted to be able to hear my thoughts without people lying and deceiving me, without just feeling like everything and everyone was just out to get me and was just using me. And because of that thinking that I was having, it was making things worse for me energetically, because I was attracting a lot of negative things to my life, negative experiences and negative, I would say opportunities, but opportunities is meant to be something good. But I mean, you can think something is an opportunity and it's not the right opportunity for you. So I was attracting negative circumstances by simply having those people around, by being in places with those people, by allowing those people to inhabit my space. I was attracting their negativity, their manipulative thoughts. It was all affecting me negatively. So I got home and I got to the point where I've never experienced anger so deeply in my life. And I began to research narcissism more deeply. And then I understood that, okay, there's narcissist doesn't love you. So all the sacrifices I made in the almost decade that I've been with this man, I lost my child, which I believe he snatched from my stomach. All the sacrifices, everything that I thought I was wrong about, I was actually right. Like the mother who I could not figure out in my entire life, but she exhibited these same traits and ignorance like the narcissist, this lack of empathy. You mean this lady, she too was a narcissist? You mean my ex-boss who just came in nicely using HR to fire me because she couldn't control me anymore, and when she learned that I knew what a narcissist was, then her entire countenance changed, her relationship changed. It's like she thought I could sniff her out, and all of a sudden she started to get scared and was running around trying to hide her stink like, was it Pepe Le Pew? I got so angry. And I have been an angry person for a while. I guess maybe I've admitted it to myself and I've worked on it. And I'm very great with, just letting people go. I've worked through meditation. I should do more yoga, but I love meditating. and the Creator have thrown so many different situations and circumstances at me, and me learning about the law of attraction, learning about the universal laws of attraction, I now know that as within, so without. So if I'm an angry person on the inside, that I'm only going to be attracting angry experiences on the outside. And if I'm unhealed on the inside, then I'm going to be attracting unhealed people. So now I'm at a place where I don't have friends. The last almost friend I cut off, the last almost 2 friends I cut off, I find that people are just attracted to me, and I have to be cutting off people because it's the wrong kind of people for me. Even living a spiritual life, I have to cut off spiritual people because many of us have gone through many different kind of experiences, and at the same time, we're not healed from all of them. For me, I don't consider myself, I am an alchemist, which means that if you throw me a bomb, I'm going to be examining the bomb. And if it in my face, I'm going to, so long as there's a breath, I'm going to be examining, okay, so someone threw me a bomb. Why did they throw it to me? What was it meant to do in my life? Okay. So I didn't get the lesson and it went off and it's caused this and that. I learned what is it that I was supposed to learn from this experience and what I'm living through right now with the effects of this thing going off. I look at all the negative factors, and just like you make a pros and cons list, you put all the things that were the end and residual results of someone throwing you, from the very act of them throwing it to you to the effects that you're now suffering. And those are what they call, or what I call, the problem. But I'm a solution focused person. So if you throw me problems, I'm going to come up with a million solutions. And if someone try to steal ideas from me, I'm like, go with love. My brain just automatically comes up with 4 million more. So you steal from me, my brain comes up with more. So as an alchemist, you look at the negative situation and you try to see, okay, since like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. When my vehicle accident occurred and I needed to go into recovery because I had the money to do my recovery, I was suffering from, I had difficulties walking. I was walking with a cane. I was limping. I thought I was never going to walk properly for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be walking using a cane for the rest of my life. I thought I was never going to be able to take stairs again for the rest of my life. I thought I would never be able to wear heels again for the rest of my life. I thought many different things that looked like it was going to be a permanent disability situation. When I walked, I had pain in my buttocks and my groin. I couldn't walk for more than 2 minutes. And I literally, if I saw an old lady and I was on maybe public transit for any reason, and I saw an old lady and I saw one seat, I would probably have knocked her out of the way to get that one seat, because I could not stand up for more than 2 minutes. And every time I walked for 2 minutes, I had to be leaning on a wall to catch my breath. And the pain that would be through my body would be terrible. So how I alchemized that situation was, I had to heal from that, because the indignities I suffered when people felt that I looked like a handicapped person, right? I look like they wouldn't see you as a person with a disability. They'll see you as a person like a handicapped person. I had my now ex told me, your feet look like old ladies, because my feet, even till today, my ankles are still swollen, and doctors feel it's from medication I took from my vehicle accident. Sometimes it goes down, and then sometimes if I walk on it a little bit more, or if it's a little bit humid. So I'm still working on that. But the indignities I suffered as a result, walking in the summertime, and because I had whiplash, I couldn't allow any cold breeze to blow on my neck. So I had to be walking in the summertime with scarf around me. And when I was walking and limping, and people were looking at me like, poor thing. And it wasn't coming from a place of like, I wish he healed. It would be like more like scorn. So those were all problems. And I alchemized it using my anger channeled at finding solutions for myself. When I got my first job after re-entering the job force, and I saw that, wow, nice building, 2 floors up. Either way, the stairs looked like it was 5 flights up. It was a big thing. And I went one day at a time. And I didn't want to call attention to myself, for anyone to come and see me one step up, and be out of breath. So I powered them stairs like my life depended on it. In no time, I was walking up and down steps in heels, new heels, right? So in life, to be an alchemist, instead of running from situation as many empaths do, we like to be in the land of everything is good. We try to make everyone good around us, everything good, so that everyone else except ourselves can be happy, right? We don't put ourselves first at any given time. Empathetic people, empathic people, we try to be kind to others, especially empaths though. We give so much and we burn out more easily. So for me, being an alchemist, and when people try to send voodoo attacks and all these things at me, and some of the time they feel like it's not effective because they see me still going, they see me still smiling. People send attacks so that I will not show up on camera and I will not speak my truth. And no matter what's going on in my circle, I still get up and I get in front of this camera and I speak my truth. Because guess what? I serve a greater, grander person than all of you. So therefore, no weapon that's formed against me is going to prosper. And I don't have to go and trouble my father to deal with it, because I can handle your attacks. And my way of handling your attacks is simply, they don't affect me. So guess what? If they don't affect me, they go back to you, the sender. So when we know these things, that we can alchemize energies, we're all energies, and what does not come at you, return to the sender, and what doesn't remain a problem must be a solution. And just like I keep saying to you, in everything, it's about learning about duality. There's light and there's darkness. So the solution must be balanced, right? So if it's a problem, how to counteract it, you come up with a solution. And that's on an emotional, energetic level. To go beyond that, not only am I an alchemist, I transmute, right? Transmute. So alchemy is turning the negative into a positive. Whatever the negative solution, the negative problem is, you come up with a solution. That's the positive. So you're maintaining duality in having the negative and the positive, and that's how you alchemize. So not only am I an alchemist, I transmute. Transmute is where, okay, you not only use that as a solution in the physical to solve the problem, but you figure out in your mind, what is it, right, that this was meant to, in what way was this meant to affect me, right? Take fear, for example. Living with a narcissistic and abusive mother and partner for several years, right? I was consistently in a state of fight and flight response, pretty much from childhood, going through rape, going through physical abuse, and the emotional toll that it takes, and growing up with a pessimistic mother who everything is the end of the world, right? And why do this? That's gonna happen. Why do that? That's gonna happen. But if you do that, that's gonna happen. So getting into the narcissistic relationship, that person was worse than my mother, because everything is a fight or flight, fight or flight. My damn brain was confused between the different fight or flight and could not stabilize my system. For many years, I had anxiety attacks, panic attacks. Like, I never liked doing tests or anything like that, because for many years I was in fight or flight mode, because it's like attacking your nervous system. And if you know anything about the subconscious mind, you know that, okay, when the subconscious mind get a hold that, okay, something is scary for you, right? Then even if you're going towards something that is not scary in that moment, but it's going to keep on projecting like, okay, this thing is scary, don't do it, don't do it. So you find yourself pulling back, not speaking up, not taking many chances or opportunities. You're holding back yourself, essentially. So how you transmute that is by looking at it and see how it was affecting you. So fear for me was triggering my panic attack, my anxiety attack, as people would call them. I would not take many opportunities. I would not try to do this. I put on the brake like Roadrunner, burning out my feet, trying not to get to the edge of that whatever precipice, because people who are narcissistic, pessimistic people, they tend to scare you into not taking chances, because obviously they want to take the chances, but you should not get farther ahead than they are, so they'll scare you into going forward. So I use what was meant to be to keep me trapped in fear, and use those things to overcome the fear that they meant for me to experience. And now I am the Phoenix Warrior. I am the Phoenix Warrior. Oh, even if a situation is fearful, I act in spite of fear, because I know who I serve and I know who is shielding and protecting me. It's the same protection that you have. We all have it. So that is how you transmute. You move from having something that's affecting you on an energetic level that is blocking you and is stopping you from propelling forward and upward. And when you find ways to not be afraid of it and to deal with it, then you transmute, as in you turn that experience or those feelings that you were experiencing from that negative, those negative emotions that you used to feed to that thing. And now you're like, okay, no, I don't have panic attacks anymore. I don't have anxiety attacks. From the time I wrote my book, from the time I was so angry one day to the point where I threw my mouse at my computer screen because it was not working as quickly for me and cracked my computer screen, I've learned a lesson that, okay, it cost me money to repair that. So over time, the Creator has been teaching me how to deal with my anger, to the point where I now meditate. I love meditating, to the point where things that I would be like swords up before, I'd be like, go with love. Now, I want you to understand that the road ahead for you may seem like it's a tough one, but blessed souls, it's your time. It's your time. What they meant for you to feel like, okay, so you must be selfless. You must be selfless. And you must be the one that's giving, pouring until your cup is empty, so that there's nothing left for you to even have one drop, right? To moisten your throat. They want you to be selfless, giving to the selfish. And the selfish will keep on picking at you. If it's not your mother, it's your boss, your father, whoever it is, the toxic people who live in states of manipulation, who want what you have, and you should not have anything better or more than them. You should not be allowed to show them up in any way. They want you to give to these kind of people. You should be selfless and give to the selfish. But how I overcame those people manipulation and is able to be standing here right now speaking to you freely without the fear that they try to instill in me, so that my throat chakra would be blocked and I wouldn't be able to speak up, and I could continue to allow them to get away freely with the things that they were doing, is this, simply this, that I turned it around, and instead of being selfless, giving to other people, I started to be selfish to myself, for myself, by myself. Because if I was in my home and I was not well, there's no one on the outside that would come to help me. So if there's no one there to help me, why am I going to take my last breath to go out to help someone? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't help people. I'm saying that for the people who have overcome these challenges are people who understand the importance of putting themselves first. Society says you should be selfless, giving to the selfish. But I want you to know that in order for you to help yourself, you have to become selfish for yourself, right? And another word for being selfish is called self-love. So if you're not comfortable with the word being selfish, I was never comfortable with the word being selfish. But guess what? I'm proud to tell you that I am a selfish person right now, because if I cannot find food for myself, who is going to find it for me? Self. If I am not well and I can't walk to mobilate and get myself from point A to point B, is there someone that's going to come and do it for me? Again, self, right? Whatever you can think of to fill in the blanks or the gaps, it all begins with you. When you go to bed at night and you're laying there and you've drained yourself helping other people, and you're laying there wondering, okay, so how am I going to do this or handle that bill or whatever the situation is? Those are your thoughts. Those are your action. Those are things you're going through. No one else, right, is going to help you. That's how it becomes important. You are born in this world by yourself. Even if you came as a twin or a triplet or a quadruplet, you still came out one at a time. Self. So it is your time to put yourself first. It is your time. All this great emotion that you're feeding into people, I bet you're wishing and wondering how it feels just to experience a little bit of that. It is your time. It is your time. It is your time to know what that feels like. Do you know how good your love is? When other people are getting it and enjoying it, do you have any clue how good your kindness is? Do you have any clue the support you provide to people, how good it is? My friends, give this support to yourself. Look at how you adore, help, and assist other people. You know how you do you. Do it for you. Start to do it for you. You know how you're kind and telling people, you're good, this will work out for you. Start to talk to yourself in those ways. For me, personally, I did a test the other day, some kind of personality test. And when it began to ask me questions about myself, I start to give it answers as to who I am right now. And society condition you to believe that any good feelings that you express towards yourself is a bad thing, right? So at the end of the day, the test misunderstood my positive self-talk and how much self-love I have for myself, and told me that I was 17% a narcissist. I'm still laughing about that because I must love myself so much so that this thing can mistake me for having some traits of narcissism, because all the good that you are giving to other people, it's time for you to start giving it to yourself. Loving on yourself, loving yourself, because guess what? As within, so without. If you have hatred and hurt trapped within, that is what you're going to attract. Those are the people. Hurt people will be attracted to you. If you have healing and you're happy within, you're going to be attracting healed people that knows the value of happiness, and they don't want unhappiness for themselves, so they're not going to bring it to you. So I'm glad that I'm at the point where I could say to you, it's been a long journey. I'm not going to tell you it was an easy one. And if you feel like you need help, reach out to me. I'm happy to speak to anyone that's going on this journey, because that is what I'm here for. If you're called to my video in any way, shape, or form, anything that I say, if it's even one single word that resonates with you, I am called here to help support you. So again, if this video resonates with you, remember, it is your time. I'm a firm believer in that. That is why I'm now here speaking to you. I think this is my 183rd video, coming from a shy person who did not want to do a video that I had to show my face, and was busy promoting other people programs and stuff in my book because I stayed in the background. But my role is to support you. So if this message resonates, please drop a comment, like, share, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Namaste.